Cheers. What's going on, everybody? Here's your little deck tech for Karazikar, Karazikar, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a fictional character for a game played on cardboard rectangles. I don't know. It is what it is. But it's Karazikar, the Tyrant, the gold guy. I'm gonna put his picture up right there. This deck is kind of like this drink. I wanted to make an old fashioned this morning, but I don't have any oranges, so I use a little lemon. It's not an old fashioned, but it's not bad. I have no illusions about this deck. This deck is, you're not gonna watch this deck tech and say, man, this guy's out here changing the game. This deck is, woo! This deck is like it's like an amuse-bouche. It's like an appetizer. It's like a little warm-up deck. You play the first or second game you play just to get your engine running, just to get you back in the feel of the game. Got some triggers, not a lot of triggers. You've got to keep track of a lot of stuff. Some interaction, not a lot of interaction. You know, it's not like a calculus test. It's a deck that's fun. It's got a little quid pro quo action in it. Got a lot of gold, got a lot of draw, got a lot of rocks in there. Got a good mix of action and plot. You know, obviously it's a gold deck. You're gonna tap down your creatures, your opponent's creatures, and make them fight each other. There's a couple curses in there, but no, like, there's only one single target curse. I put 2 curses, and one of Chris's from Chicago Style Gaming's favorite cards, Witch Hunt, is in there, which is a hilarious card. And the Maddening Hex, but those are curses that, you know, go jump from person to person and don't just stick on one person. Got a good amount of some beefcakes in there. Got a lot of cards in there that I want to try. That I just never had a chance to, or just never wanted to. But this deck, like, what the hell, let's just see how this deck plays out and see how it works. And I was gonna make it more like punishing for draw. I had a lot of like group hug type stuff in there, but I took that out just because I already have one of those decks. And I don't want to, you know, just play the same deck twice with different colors. So yeah, I probably could put more gold stuff in there, like the stupid Agitator Ant and some of those other couple other cards I just didn't get because I'm an idiot, and when I ordered cards I just forgot to order them. But that's what it is. It seems like it's gonna be a fun deck. It's gonna be a lot of action. You're never gonna be sitting on your hands. You're always gonna be doing something. But again, it's not gonna be like a deck that is gonna blow the entire world away. It's just a fun deck, something to get you warmed up and get you set to have a good session of gaming that night. All right, guys. Cheers. All right, so there he is, boys. Karazikar, the Tyrant. It's gonna read 3 colorless, 1 black, 1 red for a legendary creature beholder. Somehow or another, it doesn't fly, but I don't know, it's supposed to roll, I guess, because it doesn't have any legs. But what do I know about card design? It's gonna say, whenever you attack a player, tap target creature that player controls and goad it. Secondary line of text, whenever an opponent attacks another of your opponents, you, an attacking player, draw a card, lose a life. If anything, playing Magic and being a human being for as long as I've been a human being has taught me is that people are greedy. People are greedy as pigs when it comes to card draw, and just in general. So just the incentive of attacking an opponent and drawing a card is, I feel, going to be enough to make people swing at each other. It would have been more specific if it said a goaded creature attacks another one of your opponents, draw a card and lose a life. But just the fact that it's a non-conditional attack somebody else and draw a card, I think is going to go for miles. But it's a 5/5, so it's got a big old butt. It's a 5/5 for 5 with 2 lines of text, 2 abilities. I think it's good, and we're going to take it from there. Here comes the world-class mana base. 14 swamps. 13 montañas. I kind of want to go the other way around, but because I'm an idiot, I don't want to put a different mountain from a different set into there. So we're just going to roll with the punches and see how it goes. Forgotten Cave and Barren Moor. These are cards that these scry lands I've been really up on lately, just because we've all been in that predicament where you're just like, I don't need this land. Get it out of my hand, I'm done with it. Let me cycle it away. And there you go. You don't need them, you don't want them, why not? Throne of the High City, getting the Monarch. Command Tower. Smoldering Marsh, the best art in the history of the game. Sulphurous Springs. Myriad Landscape. Scavenger Grounds, because fuck your graveyard. And Foreboding Ruins round out the lands. Let's see, let's start with... Alright, let's start with these. Here comes the rock package. We got Arcane Signet. Fell Warstone. Mind Stone. Talisman of Indulgence. Soul Ring. Rakdos Signet. And Empowered Auto Generator. This is a card I've always wanted to use ever since it came out, whatever set it came out in. And it just looks like a fun card. If your opponents want to use removal on it, so be it. But it's one of those cards where I think it's going to get out of hand before they realize what's going on. I don't think I've actually ever seen anybody use this card, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. Here comes all the draw. Thrill of Possibilities, Tormenting Voice. I might put Wild Guess in there, and I'll tell you why, because all the black draw is life loss. And I'm all for killing myself to draw cards, but there's a limit. And let me talk about these guys for a second. I saw some of these cards getting a lot of hate lately, saying that the Exile cards are better. The red cards that exile the top card of your library, and you can play them. Here's what I think. I fear the unknown more than anybody else, or as much as anyone else, I guess. I would rather pitch a card I know I don't need now than exile something that I don't know what it is. I know I know what I'm getting rid of when I get rid of Thrill of Possibilities and Tormenting Voice. When I use those, I'm going to throw a card away that I know I'm not going to be able to cast for a couple turns. And I think I'd be more upset if I tapped out to cast Light Up the Stage or whatever the hell, and exiled something I know I could have used next turn. And just been tapped out or been in a situation where I'm 1 mana short and 1 mana was to cast that spell. So that's why I prefer to run these. The Devil You Know is better than the Devil You Don't Know. Speaking of which, Stinking Study. I cast this with the Ur Dragon, lost 10, drew 10, and I couldn't have been happier with it. Ambitious Cost, lose 3, draw 3. Good Old Arena. Ancient Cravings, draw 3, lose 3. Sign in Blood, draw 2, lose 2. Read Them Bones, losing 2, drawing 2, and doing a little Sky action. Here come here come the Goad / FU cards that'll help make your opponents fight each other. Bloodthirsty Blade, another card that I'm wildly impressed with every time I see it play. Disrupt Decorum, goading everybody. Court of Ambition and Court of Ire. Again, once that Monarch carrot is dangled in front of people's faces, they're going to be swinging at people left, right, and center. Because everybody wants 1 extra card. Everybody wants to be able to draw 1 extra card. Everyone's like, I just need that Monarch. I'm sorry, man. I need the Monarch. I'm going to attack you. But they're not sorry. They know exactly what they're doing. So again, Court of Ambition, Court of Ire, giving you the Monarch. Hopefully you can survive the round with all your goad action to stay the Monarch and then use their secondary abilities. And this is probably the reason why I didn't put those group hug cards like I said. I had the first drawing of this, I had Phantom Mythos, Howling Mine, some other like everybody draw cards. Then I'm just like, if I'm the Monarch, there's no way they're not going to just discard the cards, not lose their life. But if you limit the amount of cards that your opponents are drawing through your own actions, the chances that at least Court of Ambition is going to make them lose 6. Then we got Marchesa's Decree, giving you Monarch, and then taxing people a little bit if they want to attack you. Parasitic Impetus, giving that goad. Shiny Impetus, goad. I got the Vows. Vow of Lightning, giving people buffs and can't attack you. Vow of Torment, same sitch. And Vow of Malice, same thing. Giving them a little buff, and if you go at them, they're gonna be harder for your opponents to deal with. Now here come the fun enchantments. We got regular Raging Storm, making them Chad tokens. Creatures named Lightning Ranger or Lightning Ranger can't attack you or planeswalkers you control at the beginning of each player's upkeep. They get a 5/1 elemental creature named Lightning Ranger with has to attack, and then they sacrifice at the end step. So you're making these 5/1s, making them attack your opponents. Witch Hunt, like I said, fantastic card because it's always a wild card. 4 and a red for an enchantment. Players can't gain life. At the beginning of your upkeep, Witch Hunt deals 4 damage to you. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent at random gains control of it. So it's just gonna be dealing out 4 damage left, right, and center. Then we got Maddening Hex, kind of the same thing. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, roll a d6, then it does that much damage to them, and then you give it to somebody else. Not you, just another opponent. Here are the what I call the quid pro quo cards. Quid pro quo means this or that. It's usually used in sexual harassment cases, but in this case, it is going to be about magic. So, Curse of Opulence, Amulet of Prosperity, and Keen Duelist. Curse of Opulence is going to be the quid pro quo. Like, hey, I want you to attack him. If you do, I'll give you a gold. This for that. You attack that other player, you get a gold, I get a gold, everybody wins. Same thing with Amulet of Prosperity. You're going to tell your opponents, hey, you want to draw cards, you want to play extra lands? Here you go. You tap to use it, and then we both get to draw an extra card and play an additional land. Keen Duelist is in there for those ninja players that want to have all the spicy top deck cards, all the high mana costs. At the beginning of your upkeep, you and opponent reveal the top card of your library. You both equal life to the mana value, but you get to draw it, or you get to put in your hand, not draw. So, again, if you want to draw a card, maybe you'll take some damage, maybe you won't. You know, the quid pro quo. Here comes the removal and the goons. This is a card I'm very excited to see how it works. Hellish Rebuke. 2 and a black. Until end of turn, permanents opponent's control gain. When this permanent deals damage to the player who casts Hellish Rebuke, sacrifice that permanent. So if someone wants to come with you with a big beefy swing, it's a pretty one-sided board wipe. You know, they want to swing at you with their token army or their indestructible guys. There you go, gets around that. Rakdos Charm, because fuck your tokens, fuck your graveyard, and fuck your artifact. Rakdos, I've won off the back of that. Each creature deals 1 damage to its controller more than once. It's a fantastic card. It's a versatile card, one of the best charms. Another card I'm very excited about is Hurl Through Hell. It's a removal, but then you get to get it back. You know, you remove, let's say, I don't know, Oracle of Moldiah, something spicy like that, and then you get to play it. Why not? Feed the Swarm, because all the colors get to do everything now. You know, destroy target creature and enchantments in there for enchantment removal. Bedevil, versatile removal. Chaos Warp, versatile removal. Fire Covenant, again, just, you know, there's only one board wipe in here. It's because you want creatures. But if you can limit the amount of number of creatures your opponents have to make it more manageable for Karazikar to do its thing, to keep the board, you know, somewhat under control, there you go. And the only board wipe is in Garruk's Wake because it gets rid of creatures and planeswalkers. Here come the goons. We got, of course, Master of Cruelties. You know, if you can swing in there, tap the only creature they got down, goad it, take them to 1 life. Next turn, they're going to lose on their attack phase unless they get rid of that creature because they'll take the 1 damage from the Karazikar trigger. We got Terror of 1995, Royal Assassin. 3, 1 red, I don't know, 1 red, 1 colorless, 2 black for 1/1 assassin, and it's very simple. Tap to destroy target tap creature. Treasure Nabber, because let me get them rocks. Here's a card I find has put in work for me like nobody's business. Azra Oddsmaker. 3 for 3, nice. At the beginning of your combat step, you may discard a card. If you do choose a creature, whenever that creature deals combat damage to your player, draw 2 cards. Again, it's a little pitch a card you don't need or want right now. Hopefully swing, get two extra cards. Young Vial Smasher and Young Karazikar punishing people. We got Warmonger Hellkites, Goblin Spy Master, Goblin Diplomats, and Fumiko the Lowblood. All cards that are going to make your opponents attack every single turn. You know, Fumiko says all opponents have to attack, all opponent creatures have to attack. Goblin Diplomats, all creatures attack. Goblin Spy Master, giving the people a creature that makes them attack. And same thing with Warmonger Hellkite. All creatures have to attack. These are two fantastic cards that I've recently really enjoyed. Frenzied Saddle Brute and Frontier Warmonger. The Brute has haste, and all creatures that can attack your opponents and planeswalkers with your opponent's control can do as though they have haste. And the other one does the same thing, except it gives them the Menace, it gives them the Menace. Great cards. Again, incentivizing your opponents to attack their friends. Here are two auto includes for, you know, decks that can play them. You know, these are just two houses that are just almost impossible to not have in a deck. Sir Conrad has a lot of things going to be dying in Atali just because it's Atali. I love Atali, I love Sir Conrad. They're both pieces of garbage when you play against them, but when you play them, you love them. Delicious. Tectonic Giant, again, dealing damage to everybody or giving you a little bit of card advantage if you have enough mana to hopefully take advantage of the Exile ability. We got some cards that are just kind of giving you the Monarch. Thorn of the Black Rose, giving you the Monarch, giving you a good blocker. Crimson Fleet Commander, giving you the Monarch, giving a big old body. Skyline Despot, big old body, giving you the Monarch, making little tokens. Zanchita, Sancha, that girl your husband or wife go to see when you're not around. That best friend that you say not to worry about, Zancha, Sanchita. No, she's a 5/5 for 3. Give her to somebody and she has to attack, and then she's also whispering in your ear, telling you what's really going on for that 2 life in the card draw. Emberwild Captain, giving you Monarch and then dissuading people from attacking you when you are the Monarch. This card I'm really excited about. Death Tyrant. It's gonna be a 5. Again, a Beholder that doesn't fly, but what do I know? It's going to be a 5/5 or 4/6 for 5 with Menace, and then it says whenever an attack creature you control or a block creature an opponent controls dies, get a 2/2 Zombo, and then you can return it to play from the graveyard. Again, if things are dying, you're going to get tokens, and then you can be able to swing and use that Karazikar trigger a little bit more effectively. Massacre Worm, because it's a good card. Karadur, the Death Scourge, given that not goad, but goad. And then Vengeful Ancestor. Goading and charging people for attacking with goad. So again, guys, I think this deck could be fun. We'll see how it goes. I really like the idea of it. Like I said, it's not going to be a deck that's going to revolutionize the game, but it's a fun deck. It's a deck that's going to get you warmed up. It's going to be a hoot to play. I love seeing my friends uncomfortable saying, hey man, I have to attack you, I'm sorry. But there you go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think.